Hey, it's me again, and I just can't seem to stop bringing you news today. What can I say? Actually, it's just been one thing after another today, and I'm only allotted by YouTube for the time being 15 minutes of video, so I'm doing the best that I can. John Shorey, who is the author of The Window of the Lord's Return, and his website is www.tribulationtruth.com. Please go check him out. He sent me this link and I'm going to show it to you. What I'm going to show you should not surprise you one bit. Okay, the fact is we are living in the end times. Things are happening like never before. You can sit there and say, well, these things have been happening for years, or people have been saying that we're in the end times for years. Right. Well, those people who were saying those things didn't know exactly what they were talking about. There are things that have happened here and there in times past, but it hasn't happened like it's happening now. We're talking simultaneous events, one after the other, just happening, like the domino effect. We are the generation. Okay, so what I'm about to share with you is something that has got to happen, or one of the things that has got to happen in order to bring about the New World Order, one world government system, which will usher in the man who will be the Antichrist. Okay, so you need to understand that so that you understand why these things are taking place. Okay, now another thing is that we're being told by a lot of people, whether it's being prophesied or people who are in the industry are telling us this. Okay, we got both of those things. Also add to that a list so long in the past few years of dead bankers, most of them, I believe, labeled as supposed alleged suicides. That's been going on now. Okay, we're at over 30, I believe, 40. So I've lost count. I can't keep count anymore of this. I really can't. So we've got people in the banking industry who are saying that the economy is going to collapse. We've got statistical information which tells us the economy is going to collapse. And we've got great men of God like John Shorey who are saying the economy is going to collapse. Time frame here. Well, the time frame that is being given is either by the end of this year, but mostly it's being stated probably in the first half of next year. Okay, again, it has to happen in order to bring about this new world order. We've already got the one world religion, the Chrislam. Lisa Haven just did a huge post recently on, and we did a radio show on it, on this big temple that was erected in, I believe it was Brazil, Peru or Brazil. I think it was Brazil. I could be wrong though. Go to see Lisa Haven on Before It's News, or you can go to vinylifenews.com and you can read all about it. But I'm going to show you this article, and it pertains to the fishing industry. Now, what's going on is there is talk of a coming collapse in the fishing industry. You may ask why. Well, I'm going to show you, but I'll tell you it has to do with acidity in the ocean water and Fukushima poisoning. A lot of what these fishermen and fisherwomen are catching is coming up dead or diseased. Okay, so I'm going to show you what mainstream media is not telling you. They're keeping it from you. And I'm going to show you this article, and I'm going to post a link, and you can go see it for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead right now and take a look at that. So here we go. We are on www.dailykos.com. It's July 29th, 2014 is when this article was put out. It says, Alaska fisheries in the midst of an economic collapse. And not one politician's talking about it, but fishermen are talking about it. The people in the villages are talking about it. People who rely on outfitting the boats, who repair boats, the fish buyers and brokers, the cannery workers, the row packers, and all the ancillary businesses. They are talking about it. And what they are talking about is ocean acidification. It says, my daughter is a customer service rep at a major company. She deals with customers from all over the state, from Barrow to Ketchikan, to Nome to Valdez, to Cantwell, to Kodiak, Dutch Harbor, and all the interior. So she hears a lot of local news from people who chit-chat, who kvetch about politics, the economy, and Obama. But since the opening of the herring fishery and the salmon fisheries, it's been about the failure of the runs. But as you see in the link, they aren't talking about why and what might be happening in the ocean while the fish are pelagic. One captain with whom my daughter spoke said it's the worst he has ever seen. He has hauled maybe 5 tons when he should have had 100 to 120,000 pounds. Others, crew and hands, etc., talk about working 2 weeks and being basically in the hole. My daughter says that many of them talk about ocean acidification. The salmon just aren't showing up, especially reds and kings. Many have lesions or worms and parasites. The crabs they are seeing are more easily damaged, and there is a lot of dead catch. She also says that many of the old timers are talking about Fukushima too. Now imagine that, Fukushima. That's a huge surprise right there. She says these guys are convinced it has something to do with it. Other fisheries and species are also dropping off the cliff. Herring, rock cod, lingcod, halibut, pollock. This is what is not being talked about in the so-called media up here. Don't want the tourists to stay away. And here's something else you won't see soon, at least until fall, when the people start applying for food stamps en masse. The interior villages are hurting, especially the elders who depend on the salmon as their traditional diet and to feed the sled dogs if they have them. As you see here from January 2013, this has been happening for some time. While this was reported, it doesn't make a blip of difference in Seattle North Anchorage, out of sight, out of mind, just like Native Americans in the lower 48. But this little slice of the growing ecological disaster will snowball to an avalanche. Get it, Alaskans? Get it, Americans? And one of the pillars of the economy will collapse, taking a lot of capital with it. It will be interesting to watch who starts bailing first. The big corporate factory ships and Japanese investors, or the fishermen themselves who can't make a go on 5 or 10% of what they need to make it profitable. The Arctic is the laboratory for climate change. In the more than 34 years I have been here, I've watched most of the vegetation change. I have felt the differences in the winters and summers now and then. I've watched year to year as the animals change behaviors, invasive weeds, seen the bubbling methane in our lakes and ponds, and watched my favorite fishing places where at times it was possible to catch a fish every cast, now bereft of even sculpins. Yet from the politicians who are promising everything but action on climate change, we get jabber about everything but climate change, even though it's slapping us in the face. Recently, the Republican-dominated legislature made a huge giveaway to the oil companies in the form of tax breaks. The people didn't want it, but the pubs did so. There are great advantages to living in Alaska, and one of them is our ballot initiative laws. No surprise there. An initiative here quickly put the repeal of that giveaway on November's ballot along with cannabis legalization. Since then, the Kochs and others are wasting millions of dollars to fight the evil environmentalists who don't like mushy crabs. Ah, well, I meant to turn this into a real diary with charts and pictures and everything, but I got lazy and it turned into a rant. I realize most people don't care what happens up here apart from reality shows, but I present this as a slice of what is happening before our eyes if we will see it. The world is dying. Hmm. So, what's it going to take for you to believe the world is dying? The world, as we know, is dying because, well, we're living in the end times. That's why. The economy is dying. Things are happening, and it's just going to do the domino effect from here on out. Get used to it. But as you're getting used to it, please don't fail to get yourself prepared for it. Thanks. God bless you.